Good evening. Can you imagine Rafizi Ramli challenging Anwar Ibrahim in Tambun? Zaid Ibrahim suggested exactly that while telling PAS to try and persuade both Rafizi and Nik Nazmi to be their candidates in the next general election. Naima Abdul Khaled isn't holding back after another asset seizure. She says she would challenge it in court and added that she refused to bow to bullies. Meanwhile, the MACC has another update on the misuse of sukuk funds tied to a highway project in the Klang Valley. All this and more on KiniNews. If you were PAS, would you try to get Rafizi Ramli and Nik Nazmi Nik Ahmad to switch sides? This was the suggestion from former Law Minister Zaid Ibrahim. He says PAS should try to recruit the two outgoing ministers for the next general election. He praised both as good leaders who'd be an asset to any party. Zaid even suggested matchups, Rafizi in Tambun, Nik Nazmi in Bentong. That would mean challenging Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim in Tambun and DAP's young Shafura Othman in Bentong. However, PAS Secretary General Taqiyuddin Hassan had previously said that PN has no plans to invite Rafizi, Nik Nazmi or Tengku Zafrul Abdul Aziz to join them. Taqiyuddin did add that if they wanted to cooperate in Parliament, that'd be fine. Joining PN though? He said that's up to them, but they would be subject to the anti-hopping laws. Zaid said this in response to political analysts who had said that PAS would not be courting Rafizi and Nik Nazmi, claiming the duo lacked grassroots support. He called them Madani apologists who are worried the two might actually be considering PAS. The Kuala Lumpur High Court has denied Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim's bid to suspend the civil lawsuit brought by Yusoff Rawther over alleged sexual assault. The court ruled the 8 constitutional questions Anwar had sought to refer to the federal court did not meet the required threshold. As such, the trial will proceed as scheduled on June 16th. In her ruling, High Court Judge Roz Mawar Rozain said from a judicial perspective, the proposed questions do not appear to meet the threshold of genuine constitutional controversy. She added that the court must be satisfied that the constitutional questions are genuine and material to the resolution of this case, as the federal court is not a forum for speculative or defensive advisory opinions. The judge also granted costs of 20,000 ringgit to Yusoff, who had initiated the legal action in 2021 over claims that Anwar had sexually assaulted him at the PKR President's office in October 2018. Anwar had sought to postpone proceedings for the civil lawsuit pending a federal court ruling on 8 constitutional questions regarding whether he, as Prime Minister, is entitled to immunity from civil suits. He had also attempted to seek the apex court's determination on whether allowing the lawsuit to proceed would compromise his ability to effectively perform his executive responsibilities and breach the constitutional doctrine of separation of powers. Anwar's lawyers later told reporters that they will be filing an immediate appeal to the Court of Appeal against the High Court's verdict. Naima Abdul Khaled has announced that she will be challenging MACC's latest seizure of her family's assets in court. This came after the MACC obtained an ex parte order from the Kuala Lumpur High Court yesterday to seize 7 properties and a bank account worth 758.2 million ringgit. In a statement today, Naima, who is the wife of the late Daim Zainuddin, said her lawyers will immediately challenge and set aside the order. She said she will challenge the order to defend what should never be taken from any of us, our rights, our voice, and a country governed by law, not by fear. Calling MACC's latest move as politically motivated and vindictive, Naima said she would use all legal means at her disposal to challenge it and vowed to not bow down to bullies. Naima also claimed that was not notified of MACC's latest move and was only made aware of it through media reports. She said it is a shocking infringement of the most basic legal norms and is unacceptable. She added that the seizure of property without notice to its legal owners set a dangerous precedent. She also pointed out that the MACC acted in this manner despite not having proven that Daim, who died late last year, had committed an offense. Amno leaders accompanying Deputy Prime Minister Zaid Hamidi in London did not use government funds for their trip. This is according to Zahid's political secretary, Magad Zulkarnain Omardin. Magad told Malaysia Kini that excluding Zahid's officers, the rest of the leaders paid for their trips out of their own pockets. He said they did not receive any funding from the Prime Minister's department or the Rural and Regional Development Ministry. He added that some of the Amno leaders spotted at events with Party President Zahid in the United Kingdom were there on holiday. Yesterday, Malaysia Kini reported that several Amno leaders appeared to tag along with Zahid during his 4-day working visit to the UK, which kicked off on June 1st. According to photos shared on social media, Malaysia Kini identified at least 12 Amno leaders. Among them are 3 of Zahid's aides, political secretaries Mega Zulkarnain Omardin, who also serves as Selangor Amno chief, and Razlan Rafi, who is also the Seputeh Amno chief, along with Press Secretary Fatmel Fadzil, an Amno Youth Exco member. Another leader present is Amno Secretary General Ashraf Washid Dusuki in his capacity as Mara chairperson, an office tied closely to Zahid's rural and regional development portfolio. One of the other leaders, Amno Supreme Council member Shahaniza Shamsuddin, shared on Instagram that Amno leaders who were present did not use any ministerial privileges, nor were they funded by the government. She added that they were there to meet with youths interested in reactivating the UK Amno Club and that they attended at their own expense. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission has seized 143 million ringgit worth of assets linked to the misuse of sukuk funds that was originally earmarked for a Klang Valley highway project. The assets are believed to be owned by a highway concessionaire with a Tan Sri title. Among others, the assets included 14 individual accounts totaling 4.5 million ringgit, 8 company accounts totaling 33 million ringgit, a luxury condominium, and land worth 24.5 million ringgit. Other items seized include luxury watches, handbags, jewelry, and diamonds, 4 horses, alcoholic beverages, more than 15 million ringgit of foreign assets, and around 20 million ringgit in gambling activities. Bernama quoted MACC Chief Azam Baki as saying that preliminary investigations revealed there was misconduct between 2016 and 2020 of approved sukuk funds of about 1.35 billion ringgit, involving false claims of about 360 million and 460 million ringgit and 50 million ringgit in other bank facility loans. He added that the 1.67 billion ringgit highway project also failed to be completed according to schedule, and investigations are focused on bribes paid to certain parties as inducement in helping the cash flow out and back to the suspect. He said until now the MACC has yet to take the Tan Sri statement as he is in a private hospital ward, and the investigating officer will get confirmation from the doctor today on the status of his health before recording his statement. If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe. Elon Musk has described US President Donald Trump's key tax and spending bill as a disgusting abomination. In a post on X, he claimed that it will increase the already gigantic budget deficit to $2.5 trillion. Musk added that the bill would burden US citizens with unsustainable debt. His criticism of the bill came just days after he stepped away from his Washington advisory role. The bill had passed the House of Representatives with a slight majority in May, but is now stalled in the Senate. According to Bernama, several members of Trump's Republican Party are blocking it in the Senate. It said they objected to the planned increase in the debt ceiling and want deeper spending cuts. Meanwhile, in a video posted on the Washington Post, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that Trump already knew where Musk stands on the bill. She added that it doesn't change his opinion and this is one big, beautiful bill. The bill aims to permanently extend tax breaks from Trump's first term in 2017. According to Al Jazeera, it would involve trade-offs with a reduction in Medicaid, subsidies, among others. What's the public's view on the revelation by the MACC that at least 20 million ringgit meant for a highway project were misused for gambling activities and luxury goods? Around 4,000 people voted in our poll yesterday, with a majority of 42% saying that, like usual, it will be investigated and then there will be silence on the case. Meanwhile, 28% of voters hope that the MACC will be transparent and bold with their investigations. Another 28% voiced their anger and called for the individuals involved to be punished accordingly. Quite a few voters brought up silence over past cases that were being investigated and said that it was just an act. Meanwhile, another voter called on the MACC to keep investigating, saying that there is sure to be more out there. What are your thoughts on the matter? Share your views in the comment section below. Next, let's take a look at some of the other headlines from today. That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.